Now, what you pointed out is that, women have to give a lot more, or I should say more often 100% than men. And in some countries that might be different, so you got to look at the statistic and stuff. But I feel like in emerging country, this is extreme for a number of reasons. That I feel like some of this is like historically embedded to the point where their ancestors ended up with babies where the father left, didn't take care of them financially, spiritually, mentally. The guy just left, and the woman had to raise their kids on their own. And we will never know what that's like, because for us men, it's like we can walk away. We provided the seeds, but we didn't carry the baby. So it's a different story. Now, for every man watching this video, I'm sure a lot of you guys are, I'm not going to say decent or undecent, so I'm not here to judge anyone, but just talking about the women in Paraguay, like Mexico too. It's like, yeah, there are so many women without a husband and stuff, and it's like we can never like feel what that's like. I mean, we can talk about it, but it's the same as like you and I, we can never feel like what it's like to carry a baby.
Yeah.
Like you guys watching, like the majority of our audience are men, 85%. Like you guys and we sitting right here, we're never going to be able to have that pain, what that's like. Never. No. Like we can talk about it and we can be like, hey, we understand, but you don't understand, you don't know what it's like until you've lived it. In so many countries now, like women, like in Vietnam, it's like the same too. Like the women in Vietnam, like incredibly hardworking, and so many of them have the same experiences where the guy, fired his bullets and then he left.
Yeah.
He's gone. The past pain, and we talked about drama, how drama affects future decisions. Like drama is the best teacher of all. Like if you had a lot of drama and you will intensify that pain and you never want to be associated with that specific circumstance again, you're never going back there. Like drama, whether that's in business, whether that's in friendship, relationship, parenting, childhood, like from childhood, we all have a lot of drama. You have drama, he got drama, I got drama. Think about it. If you've gone through so much pain, you're like, do you want to choose the same again? And it's not saying that the same is all the same. I'm not saying that. If we can kind of put this in perspective now, if you want to come here, you want to have this great dating experience, and something that we should touch on is that so many Western men, and there's good and bad here, okay? So I'm going to make this little disclaimer. They're coming here and they're like bringing their habits to this country.
Yeah.
And many of these habits are good habits. But you also have to understand, and we talked about this outside here, you have to kind of make an effort to absorb the culture. You want to adapt. Exactly. You want to adapt then. If you can weigh in a little bit here what you think that entails and how our audience watching this video can emulate these steps, and it doesn't have to be perfect because so many people say it has to be perfect. No, it's never going to be perfect. But just make an effort and one baby step at a time. If you can, please tell us.
You don't go in a country and you try to push your belief. Me personally, I think that's really wrong. If you love your culture so much, well, stay in your culture, which is in your country. Like this, I'm against that. Like I come here and adapt. Like there's a lot of stuff that I don't like and I shut my mouth about it. Why? Because it's not my country. And even I'm Canadian. Even Canada, it's not my country. Like this, I don't understand this kind of mentality. Oh, my country. Have you paid for it? No. You just happen to being born there. It's
an immigrant country.
Yeah. It's your planet, man. Just do your best everywhere you go. But you need to adapt. Of course, like, things are slower here. Like we say that in Mexico, we say that here. It's 1 Paraguayan hour. So it's 2 hours. Everything takes an hour here. I go to the grocery, it takes me an hour. It never take me that in Canada. Why? Because, it's slower to the cashier. It's slow. Like it is what it is. So there's no half an hour here. Everything's an hour. Like, oh, can I do a 15-minute meeting? No, forget it. It's an hour meeting minimum. But it is what it is. And outside of that, I just want to say that because 80% of your audience, you said, were male. But don't forgive women. Like if you are a woman and came in this kind of country, your advantage is much higher than a man. Why? Because men in country like here, they can do whatever the heck they want. And this, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you thought about this, but if you're clearly white, okay, you're a white man, you're coming here, it's not your country. I don't want to judge, but you achieve a certain level of success in your life. You want a woman with your level of success. Most of the time, the father, the mother, the family will be, taking decision for women. And this is like this in a lot of country, even Western country. So as a woman, you can have a big take on, like, choose your man carefully, but here you can afford that. As a man, you can have beautiful women, but coming from high level family here in Paraguay, and here in Paraguay, there's really limited, a big family who have a lot of success. That's something you need to think about as well. As men, I think we're not weak, but we are impulsive. because we think with that, you know, with the low, and that gives us a lot of problem in all history. So that's something to think about as well. Yeah, outside of this, like these kind of country, you're gonna have fun, but you know, don't expect. There's a lot of stuff that you will not expect. Like I'm a car guy, don't expect a nice car here. Forget it. The road, don't handle it. You know, water. Have you lived a rainy day here? That's a lot of water. Yeah, you don't do any. You don't go out during heavy rain. So you know, adapt and then adjust. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. That's it. Don't try to impose. You will not win, especially in country like here. Like probably from what you are seeing already, or in Asia, they will not accept. Like the U.S. and Canada, we accept to being imposed other culture, but here they will like, oh well, yeah, you wanna play this game. They will not accept that. And me personally, this is what I love.
To talk about imposing culture on, let's say, another group or another religion, stuff like that. Here, that doesn't seem to be the case, you know? You're here, you gotta blend in. In Asia, you gotta blend in. They're not gonna tolerate other stuff.
No.
It's just not common. Did I tell you when I went to Austria? I go there anytime I use a taxi or Uber. Like I've never had, in the past couple of years, I've never had like an Austrian taxi driver. Never happens. That was like decades ago.
Yeah.
When my parents used to take me on vacation, we would go to Vienna, and you know, we would have an Austrian taxi driver. Not all the time, but more frequently. Yeah. Like today, it's unheard of. No. Okay, so I go there, Uber, taxi, great. You come from a different country. You're at the airport. You're tired. Okay, you're smelly. Your socks are wet. You want to get to your place. You're waiting outside with your dog. The dog's in the back. You go to a taxi, and they don't want to take you because it's a taxi driver that does not want to take a dog in the car. Yeah. It's nuts. However, the local law says that, and that law is imposed by the government, also a taxi company, that if the dog is in a bag, they must take the dog. Yeah. Like there's just no law in place that says no. But because of their religion, they can do it. So it's a perfect example of people coming to a country and imposing their religious beliefs on others instead of just blending in and being part of the country. Like, why the are you going to these countries if you just can't do the minimum and just blend in? Okay, you don't have to love animals if you don't love them, but you know, the law is the law, and you can't go to a new country trying to change the law just because you're used to a certain set of beliefs in your own country. It doesn't work like that, you know? And in Asia too, you know, you made that point. In Asia, wherever you are, they're never going to tolerate that. No. They're never going to tolerate that, you know? You can complain as much as you want. You're never going to get in favor of anything. It's just not going to happen. You're always going to end up losing, always. And think about, like, these people coming to, like, Europe, like going to Canada and trying to do the same. I don't know, because you're getting immigrants from Latin America more than other places, right? But Europe is like...
as well, a lot.
Yeah. What I'm going to say about immigrants from Asia is that they're not going to enforce their religion on others, which is great.